Hey everybody, Dan Warmby with Keller Williams, West Ventura County here. Hope everybody's doing great. This week I wanted to take a look at a tactic some buyers are using in today's super hot housing market, and that is writing the seller a letter as the buyer detailing how much you like the property and how much you and your family are going to enjoy it in the future. First off, do those really work? I'm not so sure for a number of reasons. First, I'm not sure how many of them are actually being presented to the sellers. More and more, for liability reasons, listing agents have agreements with their sellers not to present any buyer love letters, so it would be harder to be accused of fair housing violations in the transaction. And they really have a point. It's actually harder than you might think to write a buyer love letter that doesn't tread into some tricky ground in terms of fair housing laws. For example, if we wrote as the buyer that, I don't know, my spouse and I can't wait to watch the kids run down the stairs on Christmas morning, that's a wholesome image that might pluck at the heartstrings of the seller, but it also reveals marital status and familial status and info about the buyer's religion. As a listing agent whose job it is to protect and act as a fiduciary and protect the client's interests, I don't feel really great about my sellers having that info. So, but if you're dead set on writing one of those as part of your offer, here are a few tips. First, use your realtor as the resource that they are. Make sure to ask them, what the pitfalls of buyer love letters are and what fair housing issues might be in play for a particular property or neighborhood. I'd also ask if a particular seller would be likely to read a letter in the first place. It could be marked in the MLS that these will, not be reviewed, any of those kinds of materials in the offer. Also, in a lot of cases, a transaction is being handled by a third party, say a lawyer or a loved one that doesn't have any emotion invested in the sale at all. Second, I would not have my realtor help me draft it or deliver it. If you really want to include a buyer love letter in your offer, I would mail it separately to the property in question. I wouldn't have my realtor draft it either, because when these letters work, they work because they're personal and they represent the buyer's emotions. You want the content of that letter coming right from the heart. So sum it up, I'm not a big fan of these buyer love letters unless it's a very specific circumstance, but they can be a tool to keep in the toolbox when house hunting in a hot market like this. Well, I hope that helps. Leave your questions or your thoughts about buyer love letters in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Ventura County real estate news. And have an awesome rest of your week, everybody.